Hey guys, it's Marty and welcome to Two Line Slot Cars. This week we had a chance to meet with Peter Van Horssen from Mr. Trax. He dropped off one of his brochures and he builds a modular slot car track system. So we're going to check it out this week. So this week, on their way to the Indianapolis 500, Peter and his friend Miguel, who actually owns the track that he was demonstrating, stopped by Chillicothe, and we ran over to the church just next door to my house, and where we had some room and set up the modular system. And I'm in this video, you're going to see a kind of a sped up clip of how fast they can put this whole system together. And we're going to talk about the modular system and kind of explain all the different modules you can buy. There's just a lot of possibilities with this. If you're looking for a track that's very modular, that you can pack up and move pretty easy, it's really impressive. So I didn't do a lot of editing to this video, so it's a little long, but really it's the entire visit with Peter and Miguel and my friends Erik and his sons Malachi and Elliott swung by and got the chance to run on the track first. And that was their first go at slot cars. So I hope you enjoy this video. Thanks for tuning in. If you like this kind of content, hit the subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, hit the bell so you get notified anytime I put out new content. Yeah, let's roll with the video. Hope you enjoy it and hope you learn a lot about Mr. Trax's modular slot car systems. That was pretty amazing.
Huh?
Pretty amazing.
And if you have something like this in your garage, you can, with two people, just pick the whole thing up, stick it on its side, and fold the legs.
Right.
And that's
Then it's
the
gone.
only room it takes up. That's it.
Yeah.
But they have lots of different pieces that are different shapes, and because of his design and how they snap together, they can arrange them in different orders, and it's very cool.
And also, this being what it is, can be used as a commercial track. And it's you can use for rentals, whatever you like.
Right.
Miguel, how'd you end up in Canada?
I've married a Canadian.
That's how I ended up in Southern Ohio, actually.
There you go.
Yeah.
You know. Well, I used to salsa dance, 4 nights a week.
Oh.
And she just turned up at one of my horns.
Oh,
And I'm
okay.
going to let her go.
Yeah,
So,
cool.
Just the way it happens,
Yeah.
So I used to have an engineering business.
Okay.
I did that for 25 years, and then one day I just said, you know what? I don't need to do this anymore, it's driving me nuts. So I gave it away, and then my father-in-law calls up and says, hey, why don't you come to Canada for a year, and how do I get to know my grandkids? I said, sure. And he is now 5 years.
Yeah, cool.
Miguel, how long have you owned this track? Or this is new to you, right?
This is brand new to me. This is going to be the third time I get to play on it.
Okay.
Honestly, I've had it now for probably it's been my track for 12 months, but it's about 11 of those have been, or 10 of those was in transit,
Gotcha.
and then the rest has been just waiting because I hadn't had time to do anything with it, unpack it, whatever.
Yeah.
And then just as we were getting into the van to come here, we just set it up quickly at my house.
Just to make sure everything was working.
good.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, I'll show you. You want to look at the puzzle
Yes.
so you can get
Yep.
an idea. Can we do it on the white
Yep.
table?
Sure can.
Okay, these represent some of our modules. I only just had them made.
Okay.
Send,
Totally, no problem.
So you've got a range. This is actually over there now. And so is
Marty texted
that one?
me and asked if
So we've got them over there set up like
here
that.
in this room.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird.
The other one's right down the bottom.
So what do you have?
And that's a digital one with
Okay.
two crossovers and a pit light.
Gotcha.
Totally joking. He was like, actually, that's pretty close.
So there we go.
So that's that layout right there. Very cool.
I've been in this.
And a really good feature with this are the corners. Because at the moment, if you wanted to
Marty's track and
bend it
I know he does the
round again,
his
you can do that by adding those two corners there.
Very nice.
And then if you particularly want a gap down the middle, for instance, if we did something like that, all right, and you wanted a gap there, you don't need to buy something for in between. You can just do this now, turn it around that way, and now you've got your gap. So you can run it wall to wall.
Sure.
Yep. And there's other pieces which give a whole new flavour to the track when you can twist and turn them.
Yeah, that's
And
really
we
cool.
also have a flyover section. So if you didn't have that, you could put the flyover in instead. And it's still a figure eight,
Yep.
2-lane analog. Now it's an even length track.
Okay.
If it was analog, you would then have that as an end because we got lane compensation.
Okay.
So both lanes are exactly the same length. You understand that
Gotcha.
the inside's always shorter than the outside. So it wouldn't matter what you put in there. They're exactly the same length around that circuit. So if you kept
But you just
changing-
but you just completely changed the layout by doing that.
That's right.
That's really cool.
Yeah. And then you got tiny ones. I was requested by a number of customers and they said, oh, can I
I've
have
got
something
room-
this
yeah.
big so I can just get it right up to the door? So we've
Yeah.
even got little 60 centimetres, which is 2 feet.
Okay.
And they got no legs, so they just suspend between
Suspend
the two.
between. Okay.
Yeah. And we've got the same system in 4 lanes. In essence, if you look at that, that's 4 lanes across there
Right.
and 4 lane here. It's just that the 2 lanes separate,
Sure.
but the 4 lanes stay together and they're all lane coloured.
Okay.
Yeah. And all the tracks come with engraved ripple strips. You'll probably see it on
Yeah.
there. It's actually been routed in.
Okay.
And the fences on all these tracks are polycarbonate, so they make safety glasses, they bulletproof windows with them. It's not acrylic that will craze or crack on you.
Okay.
It's the toughest plastic that we use.
Yeah.
And we actually engrave that on our CNC machine to give it that fence appearance. Yeah.
So Peter, how long have you been developing this track system?
Probably 2016, 2017 when we moved into our new shop.
Okay.
And from that point onwards, we did the first one. And the couplings, we went through 4 different phases until we found something that was faultless. And even assembling that coupling on the track, there's a critical element to doing that, to making sure that the 2 pieces, as they come together, they're perfectly level across the top.
Okay.
And they're perfectly aligned laterally, and they're making that electrical connection, whereas on our tracks, the braids are all connected under tension. So you're getting that L shape
Right.
rather than plastic being slip fit. And after a while, as you know, you lose a little bit of contact, you add a bit of resistance, you lose power.
Right.
But that doesn't happen with this
Okay.
system. Yeah.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like just all the different opportunities that you have to change your layout. You can build as you go. You start with 3 pieces, and then you go to a different space where you have more room. You just have a lot of potential.
The puzzles I didn't bring for the D ovals, they actually run this way. So it's a wider piece.
Gotcha.
And you're getting a larger turn on the end.
Right.
But they're all joined across its length rather than its end.
the ends,
That's
okay.
how the D ovals work.
Okay.
And
With this system,
yeah,
you can raise up that
we also do custom work if you've had a look at our Facebook
Yeah,
page
I
just
have.
recently.
Yeah.
We even add our couplings to the raw track pieces, and when they get it home, they can paint it up and braid it all themselves, clip it together. Now they've got this giant Carrera set
Right. Yeah.
that they don't have to chop up when they pull apart. They just unclip the pieces, remove them, and take it to
That's
a new
really,
location.
really brilliant.
And we also, most of the time, employ the fact that we've got positions within the track to expand it. So we know that if we break it at 2 points, we can drop something in to expand it again. That's always in the back of our mind.
So yeah, every time you sit down to develop something new, it fits into the system.
And with our system, it's just so versatile, it's crazy. I did explain down at Dave's place that when we do have a 4-lane system, so imagine that's your 4-lane track, and you swap the 4-lane end over for a 2-lane, you can now convert your 4-lane into a 2-lane.
Yep, with just one piece.
Now we've sold 3 or 4 systems like that. It's not a great thing that people do, but when they have 6, 7 or 8 4-lane pieces, to swap that to 2, they've gone from a 30-metre track to a 60-metre track.
Right.
In 2 lanes. And if they add the digital, which that one is, they can now run their 4-lane in 2-lane digital. So I actually have sold units that do all 3 in the one track.
Nice. Yeah, I do both analog and digital with my track at the house, and mine's a 4-lane. There will be times I run a lot by myself, and 3 lanes are going to waste, and so sometimes it would be nice to be able to convert that to a 2-lane track. But yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, this is great. Now people can download these images and print them out.
That's right.
Off your website, right?
Yes, there is a download.
Yeah, and so you could build your own track, look at the space that you have, and that's fantastic. So well done.
Yeah, and in America we're still working on feet, so we're looking at 4 foot is the width across all these pieces. They're all 4 foot, and then they vary between 6 foot, 5.5, some of them.
Okay.
That one's 2.5, and then you've got a 2-footer, then there's a 3-footer.
Okay. Yeah, so you've got lots of options.
Yes, exactly. And then if you're going digital and you don't have the room with a large straight, you've got the smaller one as well.
Pit lane,
Or if you don't want the pit in that piece, you can have that, and then have the end piece, such as this one. And this one has a very long pit all the way around the back.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, and that allows you to come out of the pit and simply go
Very
flat
nice.
out without having to dogleg at the end.
Yeah. So when you you've been developing this system since 2017, is that what you said?
That's right, in analog, and since COVID 2020, we started doing the digital.
Okay. So we actually have some newbies, slot car folks. See, I always said if we built a slot car track, people would show up, and that's what happened.
Yeah, build the church and they will come. The Church of Slot.
That's the Church of Slot. So they're running digital right now, correct?
Yeah. What's the difference between digital and analog?
So digital, you've got lane changing,
Oh yeah.
and pit. So you
And you can have 6 cars racing on the same track.
right.
And we're also utilising the product from DRS,
Okay.
Digital Racing Specialties from
Yeah.
Monty. And we employ also the anti-collision system.
Oh, nice.
It's not on this system here, but on some tracks the client really wants that, and it's so good when you've got ghost cars.
Yeah.
There's no mucking around with ghost cars. When they're on that lane and you're next to them, they'll stay on that lane.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
it gives you
really
a much better race feel when you're doing it.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you cut down on a lot of collisions that aren't necessary.
Yeah, we did an example of the video where we just set up an oval and we had lane changes in every section and we put 8 cars on there, all Ghost. And we had no issues with it.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it worked so well. Yeah, when it's turned that hard, just check it hasn't popped out. Push the guide into the car. That's it.
That's the beauty of the Carrera system there. If it slides out too much, and this is magnet braid, right?
Yes.
Okay. So we got some magnet effect.
You can like kind of pump the thing. Ooh, sorry.
You're on the same lane, that's fine. Now you got to. But you got to.
Oh, I got cocky.
He just went through the pits.
You're right.
Yeah, and the paint surface we use, like I said to David, that's our magic, one of our magic bullets.
Yeah.
I just accidentally came across this paint because I was in the paint store trying to describe to him what I was chasing. And he said, "Oh, I don't know if this will work. You take a tub of this." And it's a nice velvet finish.
Yeah.
Oh, I stood up and
Like David remarked, when he put his analog car on there, it drove almost like a magnet car because
That's
of the
really
grip.
fun.
Yeah.
if we didn't have
Yeah, it
Go
does
on,
have
just keep going.
it does have a lot of grip.
And we love the Carrera system because obviously the pitch, it's 100 mil. It's the same as what we're doing. You can run 24 scale.
Yeah.
And unlike some of the other systems, when there are 2 cars heading into the lane change, this will only pick the one that's going to change. It won't take both over.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a brilliant system.
racing against the pro.
Yeah, don't put it in the dead spot.
Oh, right.
Yeah. There's a little dead spot. Yeah.
You haven't got it in the track. There you go.
So I guess we jumped right into the video. This is Peter from Mr. Trax, right? Is that how you pronounce it? And so, where did your slot car journey start? Like, where did you?
When I was about 9 years old, walking hand in hand with my mum and dad down the main street in the city, looking through the shop windows at Christmas. And there I saw my first slot car track and I was just glued to the window.
Yeah.
Mom, I want one of these. And that Christmas I got my first slot car track.
Okay. Was it a HO or was it a?
No, it was 30, no, it could even have been somewhere in between, but it wasn't the small.
Okay.
It was larger. And then that didn't last long. And as I grew up, as a teenager, I fell back into it again when I went to a friend's place and he got a giant Scalextric set for his birthday.
Okay.
And the feeling all came back again.
Right.
Yeah. And then I started even as a young teenager building my own tracks back in
Oh wow.
home. Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever I could find.
Whatever you can find.
Yeah,
Yeah.
scrap timber.
Okay. Yeah.
I had all sorts of things. And then that fell away again because all of a sudden I found women.
Yeah. Women, cars.
I know, that's the downfall of slot cars for most guys, isn't it?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, cars, women, and then I got married, and one Christmas I decided I'm going to build a slot car track. I just threw it on top of the trailer, and it's an old trailer that I hardly used for going on the road. It really wasn't all that great. So I just used it to pull it out. We had fun on it, and I welded it back into the corner. And one day my neighbour came across the road, and he said, "We're having a fair at our local school, which only opened that year, and they're looking ways of raising some funds. Why don't we take this along?" I thought, well, sounds like a great idea. So we tied it all down, put a tarp on it, took it to the school, and I was surrounded by kids and parents. And I had mums coming up to me asking me, "Do you do kids' parties?" So I looked around for scrap pieces of paper and I was writing down my phone number. And that's how it started.
That's how it started.
Yeah, 1994.
94.
Like that.
Wow.
31 years later, yeah, we've got the largest raceway in Australia.
Okay.
We have 2 levels. We're licensed, got a full-on cafe. We got 800 square metres. We got 3 full-size racing tracks, 2 drag strips, a display for digital, dining and party area,
Nice.
manufacturing out the back, CNC, upstairs a finishing area where we do all the braiding and the final decorating. So it's quite an operation nowadays.
Yeah. So how many employees you have?
We got 3 full-time, myself, my wife, and Peter that's running the shop.
Okay.
And we had 3 casuals.
Okay. Wow. So it's grown a lot over the years.
It is, yes.
That's pretty exciting.
From a hobby to
Yeah.
a lot of work,
Yeah.
8 days a week.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
you're in retail, there are no days off.
Right. No.
Yeah. But it's my passion, and I'm still trying to reach that next level, whatever that level is. When I find it,
Yeah.
I'm going for it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you definitely. I mean, when I look at the track up close, it's such, the finish quality is just fantastic, and like you said, that surface really has a lot of grip.
And you notice that that's not painted. That's actually a plastic moulding that we inlay into the track, so you'll never wear that out. And we use that for lane colouring as well. So we actually route a slot and we just roll that material into the slot to give us our lane colours. And then you've got engraved ripple strips. Like I said earlier, you've got polycarbonate fencing. It's virtually indestructible.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I mean, it would need to be, because it's always being, like, potentially always getting moved,
Yeah.
and could have a lot of abuse.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter what piece you add on here and continue, the green infield will always match. Always. The same with the outside, so it's a full matching circuit the whole way around. Yeah. Like I said, I got one guy, he's got 14 of these in his shed. And his shed's about this. That looks about 7 or 8 metres across. He's got a 7 by 7 metre shed. And the track goes down across the wall, across there, out here, back, and into the centre. So he has to go around that and then do the inside of that for one lap. Yeah, crazy stuff.
It definitely. Sorry, my phone just squawked at me and told me that I had too many videos. Hang on here.
And Peter that works for us,
Yeah.
I don't know if you're aware, but there was a competition that Scalextric set up that only went for 3 years, and it was called the Scalextric World Championship. And they asked their distributors to elect one raceway, prominent raceway within each city or state to become a representative, and they sent a digital layout that had to be laid out in a certain configuration and use the cars in the box. And then all the times were recorded and they were sent to the UK, and our Peter won World Championship 2 years in a row.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's wild. And that was Scalextric.
Yeah.
You said?
And the same Peter, he's very well known in the industry. It's almost all he's ever done is work in slot car centres. He's the guru. You can come up with a problem on the car, he'll have a look at it, run it, and he'll go, "I know exactly what it is," click, click, and it's going again. He's raced at national level. His last wing car race at Australian Nationals was in 2009. He did 6 classes. He won 3, got 2nd and 3rd, and he broke 8 national records at the same meeting.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, and he retired after that.
He was done, huh?
Okay, I'll just give you a little demo. Mike and I, we're going to remove this module because it's wired to this. So we just move it and we'll make it shorter just to show them what it does.
Yeah.
So this one off first, and we'll just lean him back.
We're gonna head out, you guys.
All right.
It was really nice to meet you all.
Absolutely.
Thanks for letting us play.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's really neat. Marty, thanks for.
Hey, no problem. Thanks, guys.
All right, you guys have fun. We'll see you.
See ya.
Okay. And we'll go this way, Michael, towards me.
Oh, hang on, I don't think I released mine. Yeah, I did release it. Yep.
Yeah, it's just a good firm fit. Okay.
Just bring the other one in here.
Yep. And we're ready to go.
Easy as that.
Yep. So anyone can start with a basic layout. If they intend to go digital, it's a wise move to get this with the digital already on it.
Yeah.
Because in analog it plays no part, and there's no harm in using it in analog. The track pieces do have reverse polarity protection.
Okay.
Yeah, and then later on they can introduce either the large module like this or the smaller one, where they introduce a pick lane,
Right.
because that's really part of the whole strategy.
Right.
when you're
For
racing
digital. Yeah. For sure.
So there you go.
And you can switch it from digital to analog with literally flip the switch. And
Yep. This is all you do. You're now in analog,
Nice.
and you grab your analog controller. And would that be analog?
that is analog, yes?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Easy as that.
And with something like this, if it's in a room, you can on your own just simply flip it over. I'm going to stop it from sliding. There we go. And you can stick it on its side.
Full up.
The legs clip in so they don't fall out while you're carrying it.
Yeah.
They're really good quality legs because they've got a solid lock on them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very nice.
And then you pull it over. It's as easy as that.
And the way you put everything is a table,
Yep.
right? So if you, I'm thinking, I've seen a lot of guys hoist their tracks up in their
They
garage.
do the same with this. They put bearers right across, and they'll get 4 anchor points across the bearer, and they can just elevate that up.
Yeah.
Some can hinge it off the wall.
Yeah.
Others will leave carpet on the floor and just rotate it to the carpet
Yep.
and leave it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it's this small,
Sure.
you can do it either way. I did build a 6-laner for someone. These are all 4 foot wide, like I said earlier. I built him a 6 foot wide unit by 12 foot, 3 lanes with big flyover bridge, and he hoisted the whole thing up to his ceiling.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have to engineer
Oh yeah, sure.
the right cabling and so on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of guys try to figure out how to do that, and so they can create space. But
Correct, yeah. They do take a lot of space, but
yeah,
Yeah.
this you can just literally pull it apart and put it away.
yeah, that's fantastic.
And because it's compact and we run on the inside, you'll find that we maximise the travel distance on all our track pieces
Yeah.
with that in mind. So, yeah, there's when you look at the overall footprint, a comparable Carrera or Scalextric set has much less travel distance for the given footprint. Matter of fact, most of them come out they seem to poke out a little bit. They sit on a table, tennis table generally, 5 by 9.
Yeah.
But here you're looking at 4 by 8, and we still got more travel distance.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Very good. Yeah, that's fantastic, guys. You've done a great job designing something. And now, so you said that you're looking at manufacturing in the United States to be able to
Yep.
build stuff but not have to ship it from Australia. Yeah,
Yeah, we want to avoid, number one, the tariffs.
right.
If they are still around at that time. And number two, it will give the manufacturers here more employment opportunities, obviously,
Sure.
on US soil.
Yeah.
The stages we're going through is that we're going to ship full modules. so they can establish a market, get things going, get more familiar with the product,
Okay.
know what's moving. They can indicate to us we're leaning more this way on 4 lanes or 2 lanes or digital.
Gotcha.
Then we're going to be looking at possibly flat packs, and
Okay.
they'll get everything all pre-routed, all the componentry that allows them now to get into the build stage
Okay.
and the painting. Once they got that rolling,
Okay.
they can then get all my IP for all the cutting, the cam work, and set up on their own.
Very nice.
So we're going to do it nicely in stages,
Yeah.
because I don't want it to fall over,
Sure. No, I get it.
you know.
Yeah.
And this will give them experience along the way,
Yeah.
so they can, you know, get their heads around it.
Yeah.
Because the build side of it, like I said, with the coupling, it's crucial that they do it my way.
Right.
Others have done it differently, thinking this will be quicker, but the alignment didn't happen.
Right.
So yeah, there's only one way to do it.
Yeah. So how soon do you think that will happen?
Oh, sooner rather than later.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we're on our way to Indianapolis.
Okay.
That's where the first distributor is going to be based from,
Okay. Great.
and that's what we're talking about on this trip.
Very
We're
good.
trying to put down the groundwork for all that. And
That's
so
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's as keen as mustard, but obviously partnering with someone, there's always the legal side of things, the
Right,
contracts. Neither of us really want to, you know, have to deal with it, but we must.
Yeah, you have
So,
to.
Yeah.
It's just
Once
the
we
nature
get-
of it.
Once we get that all put aside, we just can't wait, because now we got the CNC within my workshop out the back. We got full control, whereas before it was at another friend's factory.
Okay.
And I always had to move back and forward, but now it's with me.
Yeah.
And we're also doing pit boxes now.
Yeah, I saw
don't know
that.
if you've seen
Yep.
those.
Yep.
Oh, we're knocking them out
Yeah.
like that now. Yeah, we found a production method, so we can do the whole box in under an hour.
Fantastic.
And the drawers, they slide forward as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was looking at them on your website.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, we sold quite a few based on our sales in Australia.
Yeah.
We think that's quite
Yeah,
a few.
sure.
But over here, you know, it'd be a drop in the bucket.
Well, I think that there's not many that do that.
Yeah.
Most guys end up with a Harbor Freight toolbox or something like that, or they're making it themselves.
Yeah.
And so there are a couple of companies. What's the material you're using?
It's MDF.
MDF. Okay. Yeah. There's a company that's making some pit boxes that are made out of hardboard, which keeps them light, but over time I don't know how well they'll hold up. I know the MDF will hold up well over time.
Well, all the pit boxes are actually miter joint.
Okay.
Side, ends, bottom, the whole lot. And it's only at a 6 millimeter.
Okay.
Yeah. And we've weighted them up, and there's no problem. They're all fully glued at all those points. Yeah. So
Fantastic.
so we're trying to cut down the weight of the box. We'd rather have more cars than
Yeah.
wood.
Yeah. Sure. Well, that's the trick. The guys that I've seen that have made their own, those boxes are heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It comes down to the material you're using. You've got a great product, man. Thanks for sharing. I'm glad it was kind of convenient that I'm on your way to Indianapolis, sort of.
Yeah.
You had to
Yeah,
come. You had to come a little.
detour.
You had a little detour.
Well,
But-
I don't think. Yeah. So do you want to have a go?
Yeah. Of course. I'll.
That's not powered up.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm going to open it up and move it and refit it.
Oh yeah. We gotta run a couple laps.
Oh yeah, I was like, you come here, you get to watch it. If I were you, I'd go, I would have a go. Okay, so give it a wiggle. That's it. Not too much on the outside.
Yeah.
Just give it just a really good fit.
Yeah.
All right, just like because it's all one.
Oh,
You lay it
gotcha.
down like that. Yep.
Okay.
That's it. We'll just
Slide that one back.
we'll slide. I'll just hold on to this because it's on the ground. If you want to grab the power
Yep.
in one hand, yep, that's it. Slide this one through. All right. I'll get over the other side. That's it. Okay. Down.
Look at that.
again. Okay, we're ready to race, mate.
There we go.
All right,
Easy enough, right?
you bet. So because we're on analog,
Oh,
we just switch back to digital,
okay.
and we got power. You should be good to go. Right, there we go.
There's only 2 corners that are the same on this track.
Yeah.
The
Everything
rest
else.
are all different.
Everything is a different radius.
Well, not the radius, just the way you attack the corner.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, I'm out.
How about you?
Just
Thanks.
what's the guide? Oh. Michael, you're behaving yourself on the track. What are you doing?
I thought I could get you the turn. Fantastic. Yeah, this is great. Great layout. You're right. It does have a lot of grip.
And these are literally stock standard out of the box cars. Nothing's been done to it.
Yeah.
Original Carrera tyres, so you know how much better they could be.
Oh yeah, for sure. Fantastic.
I managed to stay on. Looks like you're getting quicker there.
Yeah, I'm figuring it out.
We also are able to fit a TrackMate system on the back of that panel as well.
Yeah, I was
That
gonna.
green button,
Sorry,
it
in your,
not only illuminates for analog, but it also then becomes your track call button.
okay.
So we've got just enough room even to fit that on. And on our modules, we actually have holes at different locations, so you can transfer your lap counting sensors from one spot
Okay.
to another,
Gotcha.
and they're just unplugged, put back in, and we have gaffer tape behind them
Yeah.
just to hold them there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's the same with TrackMate. You'll find that there are holes. I can't see, there's some holes here. There's 2 sensor holes through the track.
Okay.
So you'll find holes and you'll think, oh, why are they there?
But
And
it's
that's
for
simply for
TrackMate,
that variation.
Yeah. Very nice.
You want to do that for a second? Yep, you can do that. Yep, done. I think it takes me longer to wrap up the cable than it is to pull down the track.
That's
So at Dave's place, we did explain that those embedded track pieces, they got, what, a dozen screws?
yeah.
They're all nicely screwed in. They could be undone, spun around, put back in again.
Change your direction if
Yeah.
you wanted to. Yeah.
But we
Fantastic.
usually make sure it's the right way for a certain layout, so we know what pieces they've got. It's unusual, but sometimes we have to reverse that one, depending on the piece they got here. So instead of that going back here, we've got, with the flyover, it goes back there.
Right.
So now these two are the opposite direction. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so we do that for them before it goes out.
You got like literally 2 screws here, and it gives you a little thing that locks it in. So this thing here, you got a plate behind. It's something
Okay.
there. You just
Gotcha.
hold that in, screw it on, and the same on the other side, and then it can't come out.
And you can slide that up and down,
Yeah.
transfer it to the other
Put it wherever
side.
you like.
Wherever you need to go. Yeah.
That's right.
It's got a few scrape marks on the bottom of the track already.
Yeah, well, I think we got it on our first trip. We caught it on the edge of the trailer, and we slid it on the edge of the trailer. Because generally you can slide these on the carpet. Nothing. He does it all day long on his at his workshop.
Now, you're familiar with power tapping, aren't you? Okay.
Yeah.
Power tapping on someone's home track, it's a matter of running it all out like an octopus.
Right.
Here, we run the power tap across like that. So when the power feeds in, you're getting power down there, down there, down there, down there. So you
Gotcha.
don't have to interlink anything or run cables on the floor. It's all integral.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another benefit of being
Yeah.
able to power tap something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very much.
Yeah,
That's
and
nice.
this particular track has got power taps all over it.
Yeah.
Yeah, my tracks so you don't lose power anywhere.
Yeah, there's another set. We did another set here for him on both sides.
Wow.
Wherever we had more joins, we said, no, let's just power tap it, make sure the power's...
Yeah. And then here's your
nice.
holes for your sensors.
Yep,
Got it.
that's right. There's sensors there, so you can have sensors here.